I'm going to show you why the old way of thinking to become successful is an absolute fallacy and not true, to where this new way of thinking that I'm going to literally show you today is going to change your paradigm on a snap of a finger, to the point where you will start to see success happen and unfold in front of you on a daily basis. Okay, now it's really quite simple. The old way of success, okay, was, I'm going to copy others, right? I see what somebody else is doing, I'm going to do what they do. Okay, right? Let's say like you see somebody on like Instagram flexing their Lambo, they do like Amazon FBA, they do Shopify drop shipping, they do something to where it's intriguing, they're making a lot of money, really successful, and you think, well, if I'm going to buy their course, I'm going to do the exact same thing that they've done to get the result that I want, the success that I want. Now, this did work for a while, okay? Maybe for like the last 5 years, okay? This was a thing where you could do that. You can grab a course, you can emulate the exact same way somebody would do something, and it would print you money. That's not really the case anymore. And the real reason, or the real method that is working nowadays, has more to do with you than what you see online and are trying to copy, right? Where you see somebody doing a business model, I'm going to buy their course, I'm going to do exactly what they've done, okay? It's not true. And I've been through this myself, to the point where I thought if I copied somebody's exact steps, it was going to get me the exact results. This is not the case. It's actually further from the truth. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy courses or learn from mentors. I am a huge proponent. I'm a product of online courses, online mentors, and that's how I was able to make multiple six figures online with my own business. But what I'm telling you is that your journey is going to look different from somebody else's journey. Okay, it's not going to be exactly the same. In fact, it's going to be similar to the way that you get your success as somebody else that you've seen, but you have to do it in your own way, in your vision. Okay, now what does this exactly look like? Well, the new way of doing things is actually quite simple. I'm going to keep switching sides here because I need to write on my right side. But the new way is literally you just being truthful with yourself. That's the first step. You're like, what does that even mean? What do I need truthful with myself? What I mean by that is most people think that they need some grandiose, massive vision or purpose or passion to become successful or see some type of success in their life. They're like, oh, I want to, serve, 1,000 people, right? Or they want to, create the next Facebook, right? And like, I'm going to change the world, right? There are people out there, and that might be your case. That might be your thing. You're like, I have this huge vision that I'm going to achieve and go for it. That's it. But I know there's a lot of people, especially somebody watching this right now, that is like, I don't have that. I don't have that. And neither did I. I just needed to be real with myself. When I stopped lying to myself and I was like, oh, I want to make this huge impact on the world, and like, let's be real. I do want to leave an impact. I do want to have something meaningful to leave behind that people can replicate, people can look up to, people can be inspired by 100%. Am I going to create the next Tesla, Facebook? That's not really, I don't envision myself doing that. I do dream big, but I'm not looking to innovate to that degree. Okay, that's not where I'm looking towards. Quite honestly, when I started getting real with myself and wanting to help people, it really came from a selfish point of me. I just wanted to get rich. I just wanted to make a lot of money, because the truthfulness behind it was that I wanted full autonomy over my life. What does that mean? I wanted full freedom over my life. I just wanted to be free. I wanted to have options. I wanted to not worry about bills. I wanted to have really cool experiences, go to awesome restaurants. I love food, so I always want to eat at like a really great restaurant, steak dinners, enjoy that with the people that I love, meet new people that are in those same environments that are also doing big things with their lives. And I just need to get truthful, because when I did, it's when the value started to stack in my life, and it's when I started seeing success, bar none. not emulating somebody else's dream, somebody else's vision, somebody else and what they've done. I can use the principles on what they've done, but I can't copy it to a degree because we are not a carbon copy of that person. We have our own story, we have our own journey, we have our own vision. Now, like I said, you can have a big vision. Maybe it's more than just making money, okay? Right? Because at the end of the day, when you do make a lot of money, it's gonna hit you to a point where it's like, yeah, it's more about the money. Like, I remember the first time I saw 10K hit my account. Well, it was even before that, when I hit like the first like 4 or 5K in my account, I was like, oh, nice, right? And then it was like 8K per month. Then it was 10K per month. And I hit that 10K. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And that lasted maybe like 3 minutes. Maybe like 3 minutes. I was like, this is crazy. This is cool. And then it just died off. I was like, huh, interesting. Then I got to 12K a month. Then I got to 15. Then I got to 20, 22, 25. And this was cool. And I was like, I feel like I was like bawling. But then I realized there was people around me that were like doing way bigger numbers than me. Way bigger numbers. And I was like, I'm kind of still a small fish in the pond. But to me, I thought it was cool. And again, that only lasted, like the money only, the idea of making that much money only really lasted for a very short period of time. Very short period of time. To where I got it up to like 30, 35, 40K per month. And I didn't feel fulfilled, right? And I know there's going to be a controversial take on this where there's a lot of guys in the industry and it's like, you know, like, doesn't matter what you feel. You just have to get up and do it anyways. And I agree with that mentality. If you feel like crap one day, you're just gonna like take a day off. No. You have to do the work. You're training your mind to do the hard thing. Yes, regardless of how you feel. I'm talking about long term, because if you have the ability, if you finally mastered a skill to where you can make a crap ton of money in a month, where some people make in a year, then you're at a point where like, okay, well now I know how to do this. I need a bigger challenge. Right? But it's not somebody else's challenge, it needs to be yours. So you do need to think bigger, but you need to be truthful and real with yourself. So for me, it's like now I'm at a point where like, yes, I do want to make a lot of money, but most importantly, I want a team who wants to do the same thing, right? I want a team who wants to make a lot of money with me, and I want them to help other people make money, right? And be free, right? Because freedom is one of my, like, again, full autonomy over my life, right? I want that thing. And I want other people to experience this thing, okay? That does take money, to be truthful, right? You need money, duh, right? But I want a team to help me get there and do the same thing, that are aligned. And I need other people to feel inspired to take action, and do the same thing. And create a community, create a brand, create a movement, if you will, that align with my values, my vision, right? And then with that, you know, drop like really cool products. Like I started in e-commerce, right? Talking about like drop shipping and FBA and stuff like that. My first entrepreneurial venture was in e-commerce, and it didn't last long. Honestly, I had zero skills, but I knew that I love creating products. I love when I see cool products marketed, and when there's people that, like, for example, in like the gym space, apparel space, when people wear your clothes, that must be like a really cool feeling. I almost pair that feeling, and I wouldn't know it, but to me, it's like if you're a musician and you play your music in front of thousands of people that love your music, I attribute that feeling almost to the same way of seeing a lot of people support like your brand and like wear your clothes or learn from you and your products. Like that to me is like the same thing. Like in my opinion, that's rock star shit. Like I like that because you're putting your energy out into the world and other people are appreciating it and they're following it and they're bought into it, right? I love that. So you can only do that when you become truthful with yourself. When you sit down and you realize that my version of success is not going to be the same as somebody else's that I saw online. And I need to stop lying to myself to be like, oh, I want to change the world because, I saw this Amazon FBA product and, I'm going to change the world through that, just become like, no. I saw Iman, on his private jet and like, no, you're not going to be Iman. You're not going to be Iman. I admire Iman and how he is as a marketer, as a businessman. I think he's done very well for himself, right? We're both guys in our 20s. He's crushing it. He's levels ahead of where I am. He's also started a lot earlier than myself, and I'm recent in the game compared to him, but I'm not going to have the exact same vision that he would have. And for a while, I needed to tell myself that, right? When I look at these type of people online, I'm like, I admire what they have. It would be cool to have that, but I don't have the exact same vision. Therefore, I'm chasing something that isn't even my idea of success. So you need to define that. And then the new way, like I said, is becoming truthful. Search for truth in your life. And this also comes by knowing yourself. Or as they say in the Bible, know thyself. Boom, boom. One of the hardest things to do is to be self-aware and to know yourself and what it is that you truly want, and then identify the habits that are blocking you from getting there, right? You can't copy everybody else. You need to find your own path, carve your own path. This is where your creative ability comes into place. I suppressed my creative ability for too long because I needed to become more of a logical thinker, which I'm very grateful I have been. But I needed to tap into the highest source, the most high. And if you are in the space of Christianity, you would know that the power of God is the most high frequency that you can tap into. And God is a creator. He has given the light inside of you, right? You can read this in multiple books throughout the Bible, right? The light is within you. I believe it's in Corinthians. Correct me if I'm wrong. But God has given you the power to create, right? You need to create in this world. Create an impact, create a vision, create something for you, right? And it starts by sitting there and getting real with yourself. Be real with what you want. And then that's when stuff will start to turn in your life to where you're like, I feel good when I do this, and it brings me some type of joy and fulfillment. So I'm going to continue to do that and make an impact with it, right? It could take a while. I'm not saying this is something that's going to happen overnight. The mindset shift can happen like that, like I was mentioning in the beginning of this video. But the journey itself takes time. It takes years even. You don't actually know until you try a bunch of things, probably fail a little bit, try again, get up, dust yourself off, try again, right? So it's going to take some trial and error. But to know that if you know yourself, you're real with yourself, you tap into the highest frequency of creation, you start to see a new side of things where life just feels like you're lucky all the time. You just feel like you are successful all the time. You wake up feeling grateful, right? These things, they tend to just transpire in your life. And that's like, how does this even happen? It's like, because you're actually tapped into the source. You're present with yourself. You know yourself and what you want and what you want to do in this life. You can envision it. You can see it in a picturesque vision in your mind. You can almost feel it. And that's when you start tapping into real success, that you can see it ahead of time, right? And then your life starts to improve. But it all starts up here. It all starts by becoming real with yourself. Seek for truth in you. And it sounds like, I know, I get it. It sounds like woo-woo type of like, bro, like, put my fries in the bag, bro. No, this is real shit, okay? I can't stress this enough, because the more that honestly, the more that I tap into my creative abilities and the vision, and I actually take action on it, is when stuff starts to like really change in my life, you know? And I can see that it affects other people. And I've seen it on a very minuscule scale. Like, I'm just getting started, you know? There's people out here that are doing it like 10 times more than me, and that's why they have a bigger impact, and their vision is just that much greater, right? So you need to tap in, know yourself, stop following what other people are doing. That was the biggest thing, and one of the biggest mistakes that I kind of fell into a trap with, is like I would just care what other people are doing and how to do it just like them, instead of learning from them and the success and the habits that they've embodied to get them there, right? But then putting my own creative spin into my own vision on getting to where I want to go. It's that simple. So that's my conclusion to this. So know thyself, be real with yourself, be truthful, seek truth, and take action on your vision daily and dream bigger. That's it. Cheers.